Hey guys, it's Luca, Learning MTG, and I just saw this card. I saw a spoiler on Facebook of Esper Sentinel. It's 1 mana, 1/1. It's an artifact, human soldier. the, the current trend with Magic cards just kind of makes me laugh. Where it's like every card has to have like 10 abilities. It's like two creature types. It's an artifact and a creature. um, Yeah. And then it's got this amazing ability. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, you draw a card unless they pay X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power. I mean, you could pump him maybe in like a human deck, or maybe even if you've got some kind of affinity deck, you could pump him. But in general, he's going to be a 1/1 because he's going to be like you just want to play him, and he's kind of like a Thalia. Um, it's not as devastating as Thalia in one sense because they can just allow you to draw a card and play their spell. But I mean, drawing a card every time your opponent plays a non-creature spell is pretty crazy for a one-drop. And then the other thing it has over Thalia is that it doesn't affect you, so it's not like a symmetrical thing where your opponent also draws cards and you also have to pay extra mana. Um, so to me, this is kind of like if you're playing against a deck that's mainly non-creature spells, this is kind of like a 1 mana 1/1 that pseudo strip mines your opponent. You're putting basically a pressure of 1 mana on your opponent every turn. Um, and it's even worse if they're playing at like instant speed. Although if they are kind of an instant speed deck, they're probably gonna kill this thing. But it's just the kind of card where it's like, you know, super high upside, pretty high downside. If you play this on turn one, your opponent lightning bolts it with their 1 mana. You draw a card. You just 2-for-1 them. If they wait until their turn two to lightning bolt, then you really slow them down for your one drops. You're up mana, even though you're not up cards. And yeah, also this card seems to be like a pretty good EDH card, right? If you can draw a card on all your opponent's turns. So so to me, like, and I've never played with this card or against it. It's not going to be great against creature decks. It's kind of useless against creature decks, but even creature decks usually are tapping out to play spells. Non-creature spells, they're not just purely creature decks. Although there are, certain decks in Modern, I guess, that are like all creatures. But yeah, I just feel like this card is a bit too powerful. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I've never played with it, but I see it as like an Oko power level, right? So I see this as the type of card you can't play it in standard, because it's a Modern Horizons card, but I do think it will eventually get banned in Modern. I think it's on that power level, and I also see it getting banned in Legacy. Did Oko get banned in Legacy? Did Uro get banned in Legacy? I don't know. So I think it's on kind of like a similar power level to like Oko and Uro. Um, Probably won't will get banned in Modern. Seems like a great EDH card. I mean, it's the kind of card. Yeah, I mean maybe it's not too powerful in EDH. I don't play a lot of EDH, but it seems pretty amazing. It's kind of like a Ristic study, I guess, for 1 mana. Um, yeah, so those are my thoughts on the card. So how do you potentially speculate on a card like this? I've been kind of burned with cards like Oko. I got burned on Aetherworks Marvel. So Aetherworks Marvel was a card where I was like playing the deck and I was like, dude, this deck's unbeatable. I'm just gonna buy a ton of Aetherworks Marvels. And yeah, I was right. The deck was unbeatable, but it turned out that it was a little bit too unbeatable, and then it got banned, and then I was stuck with a bunch of Aetherworks Marvels. Um, I think I was able to kind of sell them right before it was banned, but still, it wasn't the kind of investment that I wanted to make. I wanted it to be a card that was seeing tons of play, and that's why the price went up. So you do have to be careful with these cards. Nowadays they make cards that are just way too good, you know, like Oko, Uro, where you kind of have to get out quickly. It's gonna go up, 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 then it's gonna get banned, and then you got to get out, assuming it gets banned. So I don't really like to speculate on these types of cards, but if you were gonna speculate on a card like this, I would say be very careful because it could get banned, and then you're kind of in trouble. Although the fact that this card seems like it'd be great in any, like, why wouldn't you play this in any white EDH deck, right? So, just that by itself, and I don't think they'll ban it from EDH because they don't really ban this sort of thing from EDH. They haven't banned, you know, like Ristic Study or what's the white one? There's a white one where you get like a treasure every time your opponent casts a spell or draws a card or something like that. Um, so the fact that this card seems good in EDH, yeah, maybe it won't even collapse even if it gets banned. So this is a card that I'll definitely have my eye on. If it's like going for $5 or whatever, I think I'll buy a bunch of these. This card just seems way broken. So that's my thoughts on this card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.